Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtike. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Ajnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamana Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Vishakam Vitansya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Kucharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll continue reading today morning from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in Canto 3, Chapter 12, Text 40. Sodashi Ukta Purva Vaktrat Purishi Agni Stutav Atha Aptor Yamatir Ratraucha Vaja Peyam Sago Savam. All the different varieties of fire sacrifices. Sodashi Ukta Purishi Agnistoma Aptoryama Atiratra Vajapeya and Gosava became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma. So it seems there are many different types of fire sacrifices. We do not have so much qualifications to do a lot of fire sacrifices, and that's the reason in the age of Kali, the sacrifice we are meant to do is the sacrifice of chanting the holy name, the Harinam Sankirtan Yajna, in the association of devotees. Vidya Danam Tapa Satyam Dharma Syeti Padani Cha Ashramamscha Yatha Sankyam Asrajat Sahavritti Bihi. Education, charity, penance, and truth are said to be the four legs of religion. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classifications of castes according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. So originally, the society, Krishna organized it in such a way that it was according to the nature, four orders of life. This is Brahmachari, Grahast, Vanaprast, and Sannyas. According to and with different classification of caste according to vocation. So what is this caste? It's not the degraded caste system that became, but Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Okay, just so that society could be religious, peaceful, and they could increase or be on their journey, their spiritual journey, and make this human life the last life. So everybody can be peaceful in their own position. The nucleus of the four social orders, brahmacharya or student life, grahast or householder family life, vanaprasth or retired life for practicing penance, and sannyas or renounced life for preaching the truth, is the four legs of religion. The vocational divisions are the brahmanas or the intelligent class, the kshatriyas or administrative class, the vaishyas or mercantile productive class, and the shudras or general labor class, who have no specific qualifications. All were systematically planned and created by Brahma for the regular promotion of self-realization. So the goal of all this was not to get indulged in a caste system that I'm a Brahmana, so I'm greater than you, I'm a Kshatriya, so I can kill everybody. No. But it was just so that everybody could be, because we all need to do something. We can't sit idle. So our activities and we do those activities based on our nature. We each have a nature. So based on our nature, the society was divided in such a way so we can be peaceful, happy, doing what we like to do, and at the same time, engaged in self-realization. Student life is meant for acquiring the best education. Household family life is meant for gratifying the senses, provided it is performed with a charitable disposition of mind. So in brahmachari student life, we are all studying. That's supposed to be for study. In grahast life, we get married. So we get a house, we get children. So there is sense gratification, grahast life. But the idea is not that we get carried away by the sense gratification. The idea is that, okay, but we should do it with regulation, understanding, and originally, because the grihasthas are the only ones who are earning income, then they are meant to support the brahmana, the brahmachari, the vanaprasth, and the sannyasi. So they knew that, okay, the grihas, they have to make money to maintain. So they knew they also have to support the other classes of society, so they wouldn't overindulge in sense gratification. There was also the responsibility. They were aware that they had this responsibility to take care of others. So then retirement from household life is meant for penance. That's vanaprasth. So once we finished our grahast life, our duties are finished, material duties, then what do? We are meant to dedicate ourselves for God realization, or for take up some austerities. So now what is the best way? Hearing and chanting, engaging more in devotional service, worshipping the deity, associating with the devotees. That is vanaprasth. Because now in nowadays life, we cannot leave the house and go to the forest. That could be possible in the earlier ages, but in Kali Yuga, it's not there. And it's not required. Lord Caitanya said, wherever you are, you engage in devotional service. So once our household duties are finished, then we are meant, this time of life is then meant to increase our devotional service for advancement in spiritual life, because then time is short. Already by that time is already short. We know we have to give up our bodies. And then renounced life is meant for preaching the absolute truth to the people in general. So then after vanaprasth is renounced, sannyas. And what is that? Preaching. Sannyas order is to be taken up for preaching purpose, not to just say, okay, I changed the dress. And people generally have a lot of respect for sannyasis. So it's not meant to only get respect from others, but it's meant to give Krishna to everyone. The combined actions, but it's not that, only if when I'm going to become in a renounced order, I'm going to give Krishna to everyone. No, the idea is wherever we are, we chant Hare Krishna and we tell about Krishna to everyone. The combined actions of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for the upliftment of the mission of human life. So everyone is situated in their natural order. So there is no unnecessary unrest, there's no unnecessary anxiety. Brahmanas, they know we are taken care of. We do not have to go get a job to support ourselves. And they're supposed to be happy with whatever they get by charity, by donation. And then they were supposed to teach and study the scriptures, worship the deity. But now, of course, in Kali Yuga, we do not have the qualified Brahmanas because that's the age of Kali Yuga. And so that's the reason we are all encouraged to take up this devotional process. This Krishna consciousness movement is creating Brahmanas. Brahmana doesn't mean by birth, but when we take up the Krishna consciousness process, then automatically the Brahmanical qualities become manifest. The beginning of this social institution is based on education meant for purifying the animal propensities of the human being. So we can see that why do we have this social structure of varna and ashram? Because we human beings also have these animal propensities, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is natural for us. And then we have that tendency to engage in illicit sex and engage in intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. We have this tendency. That's the reason the Vedas tell us don't do it. If we didn't have the tendency, the Vedas wouldn't tell us. So we have to accept, yes, we have this tendency, and that we have to stop from doing it. The highest purificatory process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure. So what is that knowledge? That I am an eternal servant of the Lord. I am not the Lord. I'm not the master. All this time I was thinking I'm the master, but I'm not the Supreme Lord. I'm just an insignificant servant of the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada says that once we accept this, that is the position of liberation. We do not need to wait for lifetimes and lifetimes to get liberation. We just have to accept this fact. I'm not the Supreme. I'm not the Supreme. Krishna is the Supreme Master and I am his servant. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Savitram Prajapatyam cha Brahmam Chata
Just have one
Brahatta.
question. So
Yeah.
what they did is that they explained all the 4 ashrams, then the 4 legs of religion, and then the system that we are divided in, right? They combined all
The
the
Varna and
the
Ashram,
Varna
so
ashram.
that society can be situated on these 4 legs of religion to properly follow this.
Okay.
To properly follow the 4
religion.
Yeah, so what are the 4 legs? Austerity, mercy, cleanliness, and what's that?
Charity.
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, so that we can be properly, these are the 4 legs, that's why we are told no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. Because if we don't do that, we are not even the level of a human being. So if we are not on the level of a human being, then how we can progress further in our spiritual life?
I remember we said that the cleanliness was also one of the legs of the religion.
Yeah.
But it is not. It does not mention.
So it is mentioned in a different way, but
Okay.
Austerity, mercy, cleanliness, and truthfulness. These 4 ways. Yes, the 4.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Savitram Prajapatyam cha Brahmam chata Brahat tatha Varta Sanchaya Shalina Shiloncha eti Vaigrehe. And by just following those principles, it's not that we are becoming spiritual. That is to come to the platform so that we are a human being, and then now I can begin to inquire, what am I doing here? I'm a human being. What is my duty as a human being? Oh, self-realization. Oh, God realization, love of God. And then we engage in spirituality. So these 4 are like a foundation on which we have to build our spirituality. Because if we don't have those 4, we won't even be able to understand that we are not the body, we are the soul. You understand? So those principles are not even spiritual principles. They are the foundation so that we can get spiritual knowledge.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that somebody is vegetarian, somebody doesn't drink alcohol, somebody does not engage in illicit sex, and somebody does not engage in gambling. There are many people like that, many. But it doesn't mean that they're spiritual. Only when we begin to inquire, oh, atato brahma jigyasa, who am I? You know, who is God? Then begins spiritual life. Then actually begins human life also, you know. Okay. Then the thread ceremony for the twice born was inaugurated, as were the rules to be followed for at least 1 year after acceptance of the Vedas, rules for observing complete abstinence from sex life, vocations in terms of Vedic injunctions, various professional duties in household life, and the method of maintaining a livelihood without anyone's cooperation by picking up rejected grains. So this is for brahmachari. During student life, the brahmacharis were given full instructions about the importance of the human form of life. Thus, the basic education was designed to encourage the student in becoming free from family encumbrances. So that's the reason the brahmachari life was so important, because when we are young, then we are given education, right? Like we spend 10, 15 years at school to give us the tools so that we can live in this life. Or how do we have to live? So now what was the Vedic society based on? That from childhood we are trained. The understanding was given. The father, before what was the initiation ceremony? Before the studying begins, the father would say, I'm not your real father. The Supreme Lord is your real father. We are all dependent on the Supreme Lord. So from the beginning, the child would be given that knowledge, so that then he knows, oh, I'm not the controller, I'm not the enjoyer, nothing belongs to me. So then he can live his life. Even when he gets married, he can live his life, that doing his duties, but also understanding, I'm not the supreme. So only students unable to accept such a vow in life were allowed to go home and marry a suitable wife. So this is after the student finishes his education, then they decide, do I want to continue remaining a brahmachari? From there, some of them would go on to sannyas, or some would say, oh, I want to enter grahastha life. Otherwise, the student would remain a permanent brahmachari, observing complete abstinence from sex life for his whole life. It all depended on the quality of the student's training. We had the opportunity to meet an avowed brahmachari in the personality of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj. Such a great soul is called a Naishtika brahmachari. So the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, his name is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj. He was a Naishtika brahmachari. He never got married. As a student, he became brahmachari, and then later on in life, he took up the sannyas order. So a very powerful personality, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very, very powerful personality, very learned. When he would go, the Mayavadis would run away from that place. They didn't want to, because he could defeat them in all arguments. Vekhanasa Vakil Layo. I'm sorry, Dumbara, Fena Pavane, Nyase Kuti Chaka Purva, Bhavodo Hamsa, Nishkriyo. The 4 divisions of retired life are the Vaikhanasas, Valakilyas, Audumbaras, and the Fenapas. The 4 divisions of the renounced order of life are the Kutichakas, Bhavodas, Hamsas, and Nishkriyas. All these were manifested from Brahma. So it seems in the Vanaprastha life also there are divisions, right? Also in the sannyas life there are divisions. The Varna Sharma Dharma, or the institution of the 4 divisions and orders of social and spiritual life, is not a new invention of the modern age as proposed by the less intelligent. It is an institution established by Brahma from the beginning of creation. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Chatur Varnyam Maya Shreshtam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in this verse that I created these divisions of society. Why did he create? So we could live peacefully, happily, and proceed in self-realization, cultivate self-realization. So when people say, oh, before man was an animal, they didn't know anything, now we are civilized. No, it's wrong. The Vedic civilization was in fact a civilization of more highly cultured people, more intelligent. Ani vikshiki traivarta dandanitistathe vacha evam vyaratayaschasan pranavohi asyadharataha. The science of logical argument, the Vedic goals of life, and also law and order, moral codes, and the celebrated hymns Bhu, Bhuva, and Swa all became manifested from the mouths of Brahma, and the Pranava Omkar was manifested from his heart. Omkar Pranava, that is the representation of Lord Krishna. So it's coming from the heart of Brahma. That's where the Lord is seated. So we can see how the secondary creation, everything is being created. Tasyo nig asil loma vyo gayatri cha tvacho vibho trishtum mamsat snuto anusto jagati asana prajapatehe. Thereafter, the art of literally expression, Ushnik, was generated from the hairs on the body of the Almighty Prajapati. The principal Vedic hymn, Gayatri, was generated from the skin, Trishtup from the flesh, Anustup from the veins, and Jagati from the bones of the Lord of the living entities. So how the different things are coming from different parts of the body of Brahma. So we can see everything is deliberate. Nothing is coming by chance. It's not, oh, so we hear people say, oh, this happened by chance. It just happened. No, here we can see, so detail is given, how each and everything is being created. Majya Panktir Utpana Brahati Pranato Abhavat. The art of writing verse, Pankti, became manifested from the bone marrow, and that of the Brahati, another type of verse, was generated from the life breath of the Lord of the living entities. So it seems there are different ways of writing also. The art of writing, there are different different arts. And so that is also being created. So there is so much design, so much thought has gone to create the universe and to create the management of the universe and how everything is going to be organized. So it's not by chance that so much thought can be put into something. Sparsha stasya bhavajiva swaro deha udarata ushmanam indriyani ahur antastha balam atmanaha swara sapta viharena bhavanti sma prajapatehe. Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabets, his body as the vowels, his senses as the sibilant alphabets, his strength as the intermediate alphabets, and essential activities as the 7 notes of music. In Sanskrit, there are 13 vowels and 35 consonants. The vowels are a, a, I, u, r, l, e, I, o, and the consonants are ka, kha, ga, ga. This is our Hindi lesson also. So anyways, this is Sanskrit consonants. Among the consonants, the first 25 letters are called the sparshas. There are also 4 antastas of the ushmas. There are the 3 S's called talavya, murdanya, and dantya. They say, even the scientists, they say that Sanskrit is the most perfect language, is the most scientific language. Actually, how Brahmaji has created Sanskrit, there is no flaw. Like in English, sometimes we find so many flaws, right? B-U-T, but, and P-U-T, but, no, put. So, but in Sanskrit, it's not like that. There's a law in which it's made, and there are no contradictions. So the musical notes are sa, re, ga, ma, dha, and ni. All these sound vibrations are originally called Shabda Brahma or spiritual sound. So the notes of music, sa, re, ga, ma, dha, ni, are spiritual sound, Shabda Brahma. And that why it's created, so we can glorify the Lord with this. By the singing. It is meant for the glorification of the Lord. It is said, therefore, that Brahma was created in the Mahakalpa as the incarnation of spiritual sound. The Vedas are spiritual sound, and therefore there is no need of material interpretation for the sound vibration of the Vedic literature. They also say that the Vedas, this sound vibration is coming from the flute of Krishna. From the flute of Krishna, it entered the heart of Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji was speaking the Vedas. The Vedas should be vibrated as they are, although they are symbolically represented with letters which are known to us materially. So this is transcendental sound. We are thinking that, oh, what we are reading, it is all an A, B, C, D, and all these letters are put together and these sounds are made. But this is all spiritual. Srimad Bhagavatam is spiritual sound. Bhagavad Gita, anything to do with Krishna and his pure devotees is transcendental, spiritual. That's the reason, like Prabhupada, when he went to India, so sometimes he would speak in Bengali to his guests. And then that time the devotees were leaving. The devotees who had come with him, they were getting up to go. Prabhupada said, no, why sit here? They said, because Prabhupada was speaking in Hindi, sometimes Bengali, sometimes they were not able to understand it. Prabhupada said, no, you sit. This is transcendental sound vibration. Even if you don't hear it, even if you don't understand it, it is purifying. It will enter the ear into the heart. It's not like mundane things what we speak. So language is also not a barrier for transcendental sound. Even if we don't understand, we should still hear it. The Vedas should be vibrated as they are. Okay. In the ultimate issue, there is nothing material because everything has its origin in the spiritual world. So everything is Brahman, actually. Everything is Brahman. It's just how we see it. Because everything belongs to Krishna. There is nothing that does not belong to Krishna. What we say Maya, she is also Krishna's energy. It's only because we want to forget Krishna, then when we want to ignore him, so we say, this world is mine. But everything belongs to Krishna. So everything in that sense is spiritual. And that's how the pure devotee sees it. And because the pure devotee is seeing everything's coming from Krishna. Krishna's entered into each and every atom of the universe and it's belonging to Krishna. So let me engage everything in the service of Krishna. Not that I artificially think I'm renouncing. This doesn't belong to me, so let me give it up. No, anyway, it never belonged to us. The material manifestation, and that is Yukta Vairagya. That's what Rupa Goswami teaches us in Nectar of Devotion. That is what a pure devotee does. He sees everything in connection to Krishna and engages it in service of Krishna, who is the true owner of everything. The material manifestation is therefore called illusion in the proper sense of the term. So what does it mean? That means, is this all illusion? We are right now here in this earth, and there's the sun and moon. Does it mean it doesn't exist? It exists, everything exists, but the illusion is we are thinking that Krishna does not exist, that Krishna didn't make it. The illusion is thinking that I'm the body, I'm the enjoyer, I'm the proprietor, I'm the controller. That is the illusion. For those who are realized souls, there is nothing but spirit. So that's why I just said that for a realized soul, there is nothing called liberation. He's never bound in any ways. The soul is anyways pure. It's anyway not connected to matter. So once one reaches that position, though. But now we are thinking, oh, I'm the body. So we are bound by the laws of the body. We are bound by the material nature, and we should not artificially try to think ourselves we are liberated. Otherwise, we'll end up in the psychiatric ward. We should not artificially think. We should be, yes, be honest about our position. And then, so what do we do? What do we do? I'm in this body, but I'm the soul. And what do I do then? We hear and we chant. We hear and we chant. That's what we need to do. And everything will be okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Any questions or comments? Anything to add?
No. Actually, I wanted to add something like when people say so many a times that you don't understand Gita and you keep on reading and reading and reading, like reciting, but it's like what you said, it comes from Krishna himself, it's transcendental, and the more you read, the more deeper you dive into its meaning.
Yes.
कभी बोलते हैं ना मतलब नहीं है तुमको पता नहीं चलता why are you reading, बोलते हैं कि भाई if you don't understand why do you accept it, but ये चीज ऐसी है कि भाई इसको समझने में जीवन में उतारने में जन्मों जन्म लग जाते. Yeah, so it's not that you are not understanding and you are reciting and you are wrong. It's not that. You are coming more close to Krishna. You are, you are progressing on your path towards Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
Because many a times I come to this point, मुझे सब बोलते हैं ऐसे कभी कभी कि ये तू उतारती नहीं है तो क्यों करती है. मैंने बोला मुझे करना है, मुझे अच्छा लगता है. कई लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं लाइक क्या मतलब है, कुछ हो तो हो नहीं रहा है, मतलब वो हमको थोड़ी पता चल रहा है कि क्या नहीं हो रहा है, वो तो भगवान ही चेक करेंगे.
But you are becoming closer, you're chanting now.
Yeah, you're getting closer to Krishna.
Yeah, everything is like a foundation. Nah? Something has a foundation, then you bring from there. If you wouldn't have practiced reading the Bhagavad Gita,
I wouldn't have been here also.
Then
I am blessed. अभी मैं गीता जी भी पढ़ रही हूँ और भगवतम का भी मुझे चांस मिलता है कि मैं पढ़ रही हूँ, मेरे घर पे भगवतम आई है, तो I am blessed like that.
Yes, so spiritual life is never wasted.
Yeah, it's never wasted.
Yeah,
it never
कुछ भी एक शब्द भी अगर हम
एक शब्द भी क्या एक कण भी आप सोचते हो ना भगवान के बारे में, वो भी आपका वेस्ट नहीं जाता है कभी.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing more, add on to शीतल भाभी's thing कि आप तो भाभी रिसाइट करने के लिए बोल रहे हो. आपको ध्यान है कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु को एक सिर्फ एक नॉर्मल आदमी मिला था और उसने तो होल्ड करी हुई थी गीता.
हाँ, तो उसको ये हो गया.
उसको तो आप तो रिसाइट करने पे अपने आप लोग डाउट कर रहे हैं, वो उनकी गलती है.
नहीं, मैं डाउट नहीं कर रही हूँ. I am very
लोग डाउट कर रहे हैं, लोग डाउट करते हैं, तो वो उनकी गलती है. लेकिन चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने तो कहा था कि जिसने गीता होल्ड करी हुई थी और वो ये सोच रहा था कि ये भगवान कैसे भगवान है जो इनके सारथी बने हुए हैं. तो मतलब is it right, Shilpa ji, if I'm not wrong?
I was going to speak of this, but you please speak. Thank you.
No, but I don't like you. Please speak it out, explain it out. So I just thought of that कि कृष्णा ने तो मतलब वो पढ़ने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, आप तो गीता होल्ड कर रहे हो तो ही आपको वो आ रहा है. So please, can you explain that one, Shilpa ji?
In South India, when Caitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting South India, he visited a temple. So वो temple में he saw that there is one person looking very humbly, and he was trying to flip the pages of the Bhagavad Gita. He was not even understanding how to hold it properly, which is the beginning, which is the end. Is the starting of the book or what is it? He couldn't even understand that. But he was flipping the pages and his tears were coming from his eyes. Then Caitanya Mahaprabhu went to him and he said, "What happened? Why are you crying?" So then this Brahman said, "I will speak to you. But many people, they come to me and they make fun of me. So I don't tell them. They just make fun of me that, oh, you are illiterate, you do not even know to read, what you're sitting and holding the Bhagavad Gita for? You don't even know anything. So, but then, and they make always fun of me. But I can see that you don't want to make fun of me. I can feel that you care for me. So I will tell you why I'm crying. He said, I started reading Bhagavad Gita. I'm illiterate. I do not know how to read and write. But my guru told me every day I must read the full Bhagavad Gita, all the 700 shlokas.
Oh.
So somehow or the other, I'm trying my best. I really don't know how to read. But so then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, then why you're crying? What happened? Why you have tears in your eyes? Then he said that what I can see is Krishna is here. He's the Supreme Lord. He's the creator of the whole manifestation. He's from whom everything is beginning. And he is there, become the chariot driver of his devotee Arjun. So Krishna is so compassionate. He's so merciful. He's so loving. And seeing his love, I'm crying. That's why I'm crying. And then Lord Chaitanya declared that this Brahman is the Acharya for reading Bhagavad Gita. Because to understand the mood of Krishna, we do not need to become scholars. What Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood is, we do not need to become scholars, but try to understand the mood of Krishna, the heart of Krishna. The wonderful qualities of Krishna that can attract us, and that attract us, So we can see that language is not a barrier. This is all transcendental. Literacy, illiteracy is not a barrier. Now, the Brahmana was in love with Krishna. He was in love with Krishna. He followed the instruction of his Guru Maharaj. And by just following the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, he got love for Krishna.
There's a similar story also I heard, that this lady, she was illiterate and she couldn't read Hindi or anything. And she used to hold the Bhagavad Gita ulta, other side. And then, like the saint comes to her and said that you are holding it. She said, I don't know how to read, but I just hold it. I hold the Gita and I can see Krishna. I can feel Krishna within me. So that's a similar thing, like, how she used to hold it the other way, like even not the right side.
Yeah, wonderful. Because we get carried away by the externals. We get carried away. Oh, this person can recite all the shlokas. This person can do this. This person is so scholarly. But we don't look at the heart, and Krishna sees the heart.
That's true.
Krishna sees the heart. We don't see the heart. We, from outside, we are looking inside. And Krishna is looking from inside to out. We are always so with the externals. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is not like that. And so that's why we should try to hear more and more about Krishna. So we can hear his wonderful qualities, that he's such a wonderful person. And that's how the gopis, they would fall more and more in love with him. Oh, Krishna did this today. Like, young girls, and then they will hear the cowherd boys, they're coming. Oh, Krishna did like this today, Krishna did like, oh, really? So the girls also, they want a young man who is very chivalrous, who can do these activities, and their heart would get attracted. How Rukmini got attracted to Krishna? Because she would hear the saints speak about the qualities of Krishna. How the wives of the Brahmanas got attracted to Krishna. They would hear when they would go here, like to the market, or they would go somewhere. They would hear people speaking about Krishna, his qualities, his pastimes, and their heart got attracted to Krishna. So we are also encouraged to hear. The more we hear about Krishna, try to understand, oh, he's such a wonderful person. Why don't I get to know such a wonderful person? The more and more our heart will be attracted to Krishna. So we continue hearing.
Yeah. Thank you, Shilpa ji.
Thank you. Thank you for that,
And-
Sheetal, Neha.
Yeah.
And
Sneha.
one thing more, even in all the Gita Mahatyam, there are so many stories where they had no knowledge and accidentally they were just reciting it. And how much benefit did they get?
Oh yeah, the
The
parrot
Gita
also. Right?
Mahatyams, yes, yes.
Yeah, the parrot also.
And
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
recited without even knowing the meaning is a different thing. They didn't even know what they were doing actually.
yeah.
They were just asked by their guru and they just used to recite every single day. So how much benefit they got. It is there in all the Gita Mahatyam stories.
Just by reciting.
Yeah, just by reciting. Meaning is a different thing. You knowing meaning or not knowing meaning is a totally secondary thing. Only by reciting and as asked by their guru. So and how much benefit did they get out of it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Modi, I think I heard yesterday, he goes, right, to all the countries, different, right? He gives the Bhagavad Gita as gift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
One
other
of the
gifts.
one
Yeah.
of the speech I heard, I was really I felt was really true. He gave Bhagavad Gita, I think, to Japanese Prime Minister or something. He said, "Hame unko is gifts." Like what he meant to say, I have nothing better
Better
to
gift,
give
yeah.
than this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they have nothing better than this to receive.
Receive. Oh.
Yeah, that there is
I
nothing
think
better
wherever
than
I've gone, no, I don't take any other, like that's
Yeah, so
the material
beautiful.
gifts.
Mm.
Give this.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes,
Wow.
he said that there's nothing better that they
Nothing.
can receive, So he
Yes.
understands the importance of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So true. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Gaur Purnande, Hari Bol.